There are mysteries that remain unsolved, events that challenge logic, and encounters that defy explanation. Every week we explore real cases, unexplained phenomena, UFO sightings, and the darkest mysteries from around the world. Welcome to Shadow Archive, where the unknown becomes impossible to ignore. What if dozens of children, thousands of adults, and even trained military personnel all witnessed something they couldn't explain? For decades, UFO encounters have fascinated believers, skeptics, and investigators alike. Some cases fade away, others become legends. But the three stories you're about to hear remain among the most controversial UFO sightings ever reported. One involves school children in Africa. Another was witnessed by thousands across an American state. And the last became known as Britain's Roswell. But here's the strange part. Despite happening in different countries in different decades, these cases share similarities that continue to puzzle researchers to this day. So dim the lights, put on your headphones, and decide for yourself. Because tonight, we're diving into three UFO encounters that still can't be fully explained. Have you ever witnessed something so strange, so impossible, that it stayed with you for the rest of your life? What you're about to hear is one of the most controversial UFO encounters ever reported. Not because it involved military personnel, not because it involved radar evidence, but because more than 60 children claimed to witness the same event. And decades later, many of them still insist it happened. But there's one detail in this story that makes it far more disturbing than a simple UFO sighting. We'll get to that soon. This is the Ariel School incident, September 16, 1994. Ariel School, Ruwa, Zimbabwe. The day began like any other. Students attended classes, teachers followed their routines. Nothing seemed unusual. Around mid-morning, the children were outside enjoying recess. Teachers remained inside the school building. The playground was filled with laughter and conversation. Then something caught their attention. Several students noticed a strange object in the sky. At first, nobody thought much of it. But as the object moved closer, people began staring. The object appeared shiny, metallic, silent, and unlike any aircraft they had ever seen. Some children described it as a silver disc. Others said it seemed to shimmer. Then it began descending toward a field near the school grounds. As strange as that sounds, the children hadn't even reached the most frightening part of the encounter yet, because what happened next would stay with them for the rest of their lives. Curious students moved closer. Many wanted a better look. What they expected to find, no one knows. But what they reported seeing was something they never forgot. Near the object stood several figures, small, thin, humanoid. The beings appeared different from ordinary people. Witnesses described oversized black eyes, strange movements, and unusual proportions. Several children claimed the figures seemed to glide rather than walk, almost as if they floated above the ground. Some students froze, others became terrified. A few wanted to run, but many simply stood there, unable to look away. At this point, you might think the children simply saw something unusual, but investigators later discovered a detail that made the case far more difficult to explain. Several witnesses later reported that one of the beings looked directly at them, not just glanced at them, stared directly into their eyes. And according to multiple children, something strange happened. They claimed the being communicated without speaking. No words, no sounds. Yet they felt as if information was somehow being transferred. The children later struggled to describe the experience. Many said it felt like thoughts entering their minds. And those thoughts carried a warning about technology, a warning about the future, a warning about humanity damaging the Earth. What happened next is the reason this case remains famous today. And it wasn't the UFO, it was the message. A message many witnesses still remember decades later. The encounter lasted only a few minutes. Then suddenly the object departed. Some children said it rose rapidly into the sky. Others claimed it vanished almost instantly. Whatever happened, it was over. The children returned to school, but they weren't the same. Many appeared frightened. Others were emotional. Some refused to discuss what they had seen. Soon, parents and teachers learned about the reports. Word spread quickly. Eventually, investigators arrived to interview the students. And this is where the story becomes truly unusual. The children were interviewed separately, yet many descriptions were remarkably similar. The shape of the craft, the appearance of the beings, the location of the encounter, even the emotional impact. Again and again, the accounts shared striking similarities. Years passed, then decades. The children became adults. Many built careers, started families, moved across the world. Yet when asked about that day, many told the same story. Some admitted they wished it had never happened. Others said the experience changed how they viewed reality. Even today, the Ariel School incident remains one of the most debated UFO cases in history. Was it a misunderstanding, a psychological phenomenon? Or did dozens of children witness something genuinely extraordinary? No explanation has convinced everyone, but if you think dozens of children witnessing a UFO is difficult to believe, the next case involved thousands of witnesses across an entire American state, and some claim the object was larger than a football stadium. That's where our next mystery begins. Stay with me, because it only gets stranger from here.